Hello, welcome to this little tutorial about how to program your kiln. Now, this kiln is a Paragon SC2. This is the control panel. If you have a programmable kiln, like a Prometheus PRO PRG, then it's the same programmer, same type of programmer. It might look slightly different, but it's got 3 buttons, and this is what we're going to be talking about. So first of all, switch on your kiln. There should be an idle. This digit here is the internal chamber temperature of the kiln. Okay, so it should be fairly low when you're starting out. Now, there is a start-stop button. There's an upward button and a downward button. So it says here higher and lower, but one's pointing up, one's pointing down. We have the different temperatures here. So if we've got a little dot here, it says when lit it's Celsius, and when it's not lit it's Fahrenheit. So you can change the temperature setting depending on what you want it, but we in the UK certainly we work with centigrade. So this one has actually only 5 programs, and it has speed settings as well. We're not going to discuss the 5 speed settings, but we will discuss how to program the kiln. Now I'm just going to take it up. I'm just going to take it to a program that's free, and I can show you. All right, so when you set the program, and what I suggest you do is, if you have various different settings for your kiln, write it down and stick it somewhere near your kiln so you remember what they are, because different clays might need different settings. So I'm just going to basically show you a simple setting. So this is program 4. Now the first one is the RA. Okay, so it's alternating between what it's doing and what the control is. So RA means ramp. Now ramping is basically how quickly do you want the kiln to get to the temperature you're setting it for. Now, generally speaking, with silver clay, most brands, not all, but most brands, you will want a full ramp. You want it to go straight to the temperature that you want it to go to, and that's true for fine silver, especially like art clay and PMC3 and PMC Flex and so on. But if you want to adjust this, you can press the up buttons and start off with from the zeros up, or you can reverse it back, go back to full, and then go down. Okay, so you can set it either way. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk you through a program that's a bit more complicated than a straightforward one. Excuse me. So next one is the temperature. So this is the degrees Celsius, and this is temperature 1, because you might want to get to a temperature very gradually. And that's very true for firing glass, actually. So this is a temperature that's set. Now again, you can go up or you can go down. And if you keep your button finger on the button, it scrolls through quicker, like that. Okay, so if we wanted to go up right up to 900, you just keep going until you get there. Okay, so that's 900 degrees. And then hit the stop start button again, and you're getting on to the next part. Now, HLD is the hold time. How long, once the kiln gets to the temperature that you want it to do, because it's going straight to the temperature, how long do you want that to hold? Now, again, it's up and down buttons. So if I wanted this to be a straightforward 900 degrees Celsius for 2 hours, then I would just put it straight up to 2 hours. Okay, and that's it. Now there is a second ramp, and you can set this up for various different layers, which really you don't need very much for silver clay. You might need that for glass, and you might need that for other objects, but not for silver clay. So once that's done, you can start it and then it's on. Okay, that's as simple as that. Now you can stop it and press the button, the start button. You can see the internal temperature has gone up to 10, and I set back to idle. Now if I go back to program 4 and scale through it, so keep pressing the button, you can see that it's kept that program for the next time. So all you need to do the next time is put it on to program 4 and start it. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is a program that's slightly more complicated. Okay, so if this program 1 I set up to fire Aussie Clay 960. Now Aussie Clay 960 needs a ramping time to sinter the clay properly. So it needs a bit of time to get to the temperature before you hold the temperature. So I had to put on a ramp for that, so that the kiln heats up gradually. And then once it gets to the temperature I wanted it to get to, then I fired it at the temperature. So I'm going to talk you through that program. Okay, so this is program 1. Now the ramp is 450 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's the temperature I want it to increase by. All right, the Celsius is, I want it to increase it from 450 to 900 degrees. Okay, so it goes up to 450 and then it goes up another 450 to 900, and I want to do that over an hour. Okay, so it's going to take half an hour to get to 450, and then it's going to take another half an hour to get to 900 degrees Celsius. Okay, and that's to give the binder in the 960 clay and the Aussie 960. This is not the same for every 960, but for Aussie 960, this is what I had to do. So it's taken an hour to get to 900 degrees Celsius. Okay, the next one is the ramp is full. I want it to stay at 900 degrees and I want it to hold for 2 hours. Okay, and then I don't need any more ramps. I don't need anything like that, so I don't need to put another ramp on. And then I just started it. Okay, so if you've got a more complicated firing schedule than just 900 degrees for 2 hours, or I think if you go, for example, if you were firing sterling, I wouldn't, because you have to you have to fire the sterling and burn it out on the kiln shelf bare and then put it in carbon. I wouldn't put a program in here to do that. What I would just do is have 2 programs, one to fire it for at 538 degrees for 30 minutes. That burns out the binder, and then I would put in another program for the 870 for an hour, which is what the sterling requires. Okay, so I hope that's made that easy. It's a really straightforward thing to do, and especially for your fine silver and your sterling 960, 950 clays, generally speaking, it's quite straightforward. Okay, so enjoy playing with your kilns, and I shall catch you later. Bye for now.